Hi, guys. All right, guys, welcome to another Mission Monday. And we have a treat. We have one of my personal friends, Kevin Goins, on. And I got to tell you guys, he's amazing. I don't think you're going to be able to see, his book. Oh, yes, you can. He can put it up there, but he has just written this book that is just amazing. And I can tell you, what he has done, like he came on as a client and he actually help my team and do some things. So I just want to introduce you guys to Mr. Kevin Goins. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your business?
Hey, everybody. So, my name is Kevin Goins, and I am a speaker and actually have a training and development company where I actually help people literally with their emotional intelligence, whether it be one on one, group, or like we're about to do now, go do some speaking engagements in Minnesota. So, the whole goal is how do you show up powerfully? How do you bring your best self forward, regardless of what's happening, uh, so that you can actually be the person you want to be? Now, I've had the unique opportunity to work with Lisa Nichols from The Secret. That was really amazing. Really learning how to actually work with. In fact, I got a chance to train people from 5 different continents. So that's something I kind of do when I work with her, all online. But it's a really beautiful experience when you recognize the human spirit. We're all the same. It doesn't matter where we are. So when I was working with your team, working with different people, coaching, it's all about how do we become more emotionally intelligent so we can make the best decision and then act accordingly. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. It's been an amazing year. I mean, just having you come on talking to my team and having you specifically weekly help them with their emotional intelligence has really changed the face of my business. So I want to thank you for that.
My
So
pleasure.
I want to ask you, what inspired you to start this business and what problem are you solving for your customers?
Well, I actually did not want to do this. My background is pharmacy, so I kind of hid from speaking because I really didn't like my story. When I was younger, I was bullied and teased about even how I spoke. So I'm going, I don't think I should be speaking, and yet that was part of the dream. And I'll never forget. I was like, I'm not doing this, and I would shut down, not talk, and just be watching everybody else do it. But in pharmacy, as I began to grow and evolve, I kept finding myself running the conferences because that dream, it still wouldn't die. I
Mhm.
recognized that even inside of me, it doesn't matter what people say. My question was, what do I believe? What do I see? And as I began to look at others, even in leadership, I said, I think people struggling and bully themselves too with wondering, am I enough when they speak? Am
Yes.
I enough when they get chosen? Like, can I say something and people actually follow me? So when I recognized I was not by myself, I realized, okay, I'm gonna follow the call and just leave me alone. Please just stop. That's I was talking to God like, get off me. I'm gonna do it. Please just stop. In fact, the reason why I said it like this because right before I originally took the call, I got fired from a job because I was hiding, trying to do something else, but use the light, use the spirit, use articulation, and do it my way. And all I could hear was, no, you're gonna do it mine.
He do it. He do it for you like that though. He put you in, he let you know. Like in it,
Closing those doors, and
he
only one open was this one. I'm like, you got to do this. You
he
got to
know,
do this.
like it's no ambiguousness. You know that this is what he told you to do, and you gotta do exactly what he said. So
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
wow, wow.
But I'm
So
going to tell you one thing though. What I've started noticing too is again going back to my original story. I also, when I look at some of the clients that I had to work with, I saw how people sometimes bully themselves, especially
mm,
in marriages, where sometimes he's dominating her and she's
mhm,
thinking my voice doesn't matter. Though she's the one making a lot of the most informational decisions. Or when
right.
I'm working with therapists, and though they have a thriving practice, learning how to actually show them how to even be more impactful when their people show up because they had to first see themselves. So taking them through some of the things they take their clients through, I could see how sometimes the not enoughism would creep up throughout
Mm,
humanity. So it didn't matter was a woman or a man, it didn't matter about the gender or orientation. All of it was the same. Am I enough? Is what I say, does it matter? And
mm.
if I actually stand and be who I'm supposed to be, well listen, can I do it? That's kind of the emotional intelligence. So
Oh my gosh. That's why people need, I didn't know that, having someone like you on the team was actually necessary until you actually came. And so I think it's really important that you did put this book out there. I do think it's important that you speak to business owners, corporations, large corporations, because some of their employees are hurting and they
all right.
don't know how to deal with these things. And I know that you actually help large corporations like Walmart and others with this program. And I think it's necessary.
Yeah, and I have a speech lined up, and one of the things they're dealing with, so emotional intelligence is not just am I enough, but sometimes people feel overworked. Maybe it's too much. You know what I mean? Where it's so much stuff. How do I stop the noise in here,
Mm,
begin to self-regulate, get a
mm.
clear mind, and then act with empathy? Act as if I care. Act, from a caring place, but then can really make a really powerful decision. So I'll be showing people how to do that as well, to clear the noise and begin to master their own emotions,
Wow.
self-regulate when they find themselves going up the hill to, oh my God, this is too much, or I don't want to do all of that. That learning how to bring that down,
Bring it
get
down.
clear so they can act with power.
That's, I think today, in today's age, I was just talking to one of my friends, and she said her friend just got let go from the Pentagon. She'd been there for years. She thought she was going to retire from the Pentagon, from the federal government, but because of these cuts, people, are feeling, you they're feeling uh, uneasy, you know.
Exactly.
And so I think your book could possibly help with some of those things as well. Like,
Just possibly it is. Let me tell you, what's happening is it doesn't really matter who you voted for, what you believe, what you go for. I just want people to know every time they just let people go like that. And a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. So they may just have 2 or 3 paychecks before they're going to go, what do I do next?
mm,
Those are people's lives.
mm,
So whether you voted this way or that way, you're in favor or not in favor, what I want people to know is when groups are just hit that way,
mhm,
what people don't recognize, there's trauma that's happening to the spirit, trauma happening to
mm,
the soul, and
mm,
that's where the arrested development begins to lock in because now they're so traumatized.
mm,
Growth and development stops, and now they're just trying to figure out where is food, water, shelter.
mm,
Then this is how it's easy to begin to act out. So if that's your tendency when things happen, you may be the one to act out. Others may come with anger. Some people, like me, maybe just shut down, get
mm,
quiet. But it's
mm,
because trauma is being inflicted. And the oddest thing is, I'm watching the news, no matter whether it's CNN or Fox and Friends or whatever. They're all. What I'm noticing is people are just not recognizing there's some emotional unintelligence that's happening to the human, and the human spirit is getting hurt. And
oh,
people have families. They need help.
think we need help. And oh my God. So you say you always know, in my opinion, you always know exactly what to say. I'm going to talk about your impact on the community. How does your business serve and impact the community?
Well, the business, the way it serves and impacts the community, it's just helping people grow where they are. Some people recognize, in my leadership, I'm good at managing stuff, but how do I help manage teams? How do I create
Mm,
influence? Well, if you can't figure out your own emotions and you're just only about accomplishment, but inside you feel kind of, that's not really that important or that's too weak, that's where you miss connection. So helping the
mhm,
community is helping people learn how to connect, especially if they feel like maybe I'm broken. Everybody else is good at connecting. Maybe that's not my thing. No, it's your thing. It's just we have levels.
mm,
So a lot of people don't. They think either you're just born with it or you're not. But it's not like even with sports. It's either somebody can throw the ball really well or everybody else can work up to it and get pretty good. Emotional intelligence is the same way.
it's the same. Okay.
Exactly. So.
What sets your business apart from others in your industry?
Well, I'll put it this way. I was my first client. So when I started learning how to speak and really be with people and coach, I recognized I needed to first get coaching on myself.
Oh
So
wow.
I think the biggest thing was looking at every aspect of my life and allowing myself to be vulnerable and really do the work, really listen actively, really look at areas where I even said, I judge myself bad here or maybe put myself down there. No, go and explore those areas. What that did was allow me to really listen so I can customize and work with executives or different people whether it's working on their speaking and how they show up, if they're on a stage or even just in a boardroom, or working with them emotionally. I've had corporate clients that are very powerful inside, but feel like they hit a wall. How
Mm.
do I pull my humanity out and not say, oh, that's not important? No, no, actually it is. Your whole self is important. You're a human being, not just accomplishment only. And then forget the emotion. So showing
Mm.
people how to get the whole self in, so you have full power whenever you're doing what you're doing, and not having to be stressed as you go.
That's, that is something that we need. It was crazy because when you got on our team, helping my team, you came in as a customer. No, I think, did you come in? No, you came in as my coach first.
Yes, yeah.
You was my, then you came in as a
As a
customer,
customer.
but then you end up like, let's help your team. And so it was some things that I didn't know as a business owner. You have to, even though you love your team, you might kind of say it a little, it might come off different to your team, and so
Mhm.
you help me be a better leader. Talk to be able to talk and say, hey, no, you do need to do these things. We can still have these things happen. You can still be my friend, we can still be cordial, but you still have to do this. And you show me how to say, hey, give them discipline if it was warranted. But I'm a people pleaser. So I'm always like, I'm the mama I'm the mama. I'm like, y'all, come on, let's just, and you like, oh no.
Exactly. Because when we do that people pleasing, that's like putting on the corporate brakes, and it can slow down production, slow down efficiency, slow down the output of the team, but even slow down their leadership because they get
Mhm.
used to being coddled. So it's
Ugh.
more like, let's take the brakes off,
Mhm.
allow people to be accountable for their action, and then let's see how they actually show up when they recognize, here's my goal. How do I achieve to the goal? And what are the barriers may be blocking me of what I may be thinking I can't do? So we can remove that and just let you perform.
And
No people pleasing.
no people, and you know what? The what I thought the worst thing could happen did happen, but it wasn't the worst thing. I lost some people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've been there.
People
They
are not always happy with that, but sometimes to really be your best, we have to be honest with the truth and do it in a way where it's in decency, it's in
Mhm,
love, it's in kindness, but it's also allowing you to clear the field and see, where are you? How are you
mhm,
showing up to the table? What are you
mhm,
bringing forth? Can you do better? And are you judging our people or judging yourself and limiting yourself to really see?
mm.
That was one of the things I love to work with, showing people how to stop judging with your mouth, judging with your heart, or just judging with these thoughts, which is blinding you from opportunity and blinding you to see the entire field.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, some of my team members self-selected out, and some were, let go. And so that for me was some leadership training that I definitely needed myself.
And it's
You
not
know,
easy because we want to be friends, we want to be nice and kind.
right?
However, you also got to recognize there's a business, still have
Yes.
customers, and are they pulling the weight that they say they are, or
Yeah.
have they, settled down? So it's all about not making it hard, but
Mhm.
definitely making it so they can do their best and just choose to opt forward or opt back. Yeah.
Oh, and also I know that I keep on there as you keep talking, coming up with other things, defining what an A player was on my team.
Mm,
Defining what it was, is it this or is it that? No, an A player is this, and this is what we're accepting,
right.
and you invite them to, every time I'm like, I want to invite you.
Yeah, because here's the deal. What I truly believe is no one shows up to be bad. We all want to do our best, and we all think we are. It's just sometimes with the programming of society in the world, and just like kind of things get slack off, and then all the stuff on IG or just social media in general, people sometimes forget what excellence could look like, and we can find ourselves coasting.
Mhm.
So the invitation was inviting people to be their best and doing it in a way where they could choose to work hard, but also see, well, if you don't, here are the consequences, and you get to choose where you want to be on the side of those consequences versus oh, you're a horrible person, you're bad, you're this, you're that, you're lazy. No, no, no. We all want to do well, but sometimes we're not always taught what does well even look like. Is it
What does
just
it mean?
social media,
Yes.
or are there different things that we do when we're actually inside of a corporate environment? We got real customers going, I
Mhm.
need your help. Where are you? Can
Yes.
you help me? Do you see me?
Yes, yes. Oh my God. You helped so much on that. I mean, we had, we have a great product at QT, but we had some players, that were great at their job, but then they weren't good at follow up. And
Mm,
they weren't showing up the best way in following up. And it was great that you actually were a customer and a coach, because you're like, this is what a customer would feel like. Even though you got a great product, you want to still feel like have those things in your job. If your job is the cost, you say you're gonna call somebody, call them back. you know
yeah,
we all business owners over here, so we know you it's hard to employ people and then keep them accountable when you trying to be a people pleaser. And
right.
sometimes you don't have, the people don't have they don't have the emotional intelligence to know enough to say, hey, I should probably show up and do my job. Me, it's never been a problem for me. If
Me
you hire
either.
me, baby, if you hire me, baby, if you tell me how you get money, because that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you know
right.
that I you nobody has to tell me as an employee. Like, I all my boss got to tell me is how they make money and what they need, and I got it. They don't even have to really train me. And so I kind of, as that type of person, I kind of just thought everybody was like that.
Oh no, the rest of us need our rules and SOPs and procedures and
Right.
policies.
Most of the time, I'm putting the SOP. When I get hired, most of the time, I'm writing the whole stuff. I'm putting the procedure for them. I'm like, this gonna make it better. You need this much money. This is gonna be. And then I literally just thought when I was gonna hire somebody that was gonna exactly be like that. And no.
Yeah, I love that. And so that's the beautiful thing about people. Some of us can get it. Not many are like you. The rest need a few rules, policies on how to do what we need to do to show up. And then what are the consequences? Because keep it real, people are
Mm,
like water. For the most part, water does what? It just follows the path of least resistance. So people that do.
mm,
Sometimes
mm,
when we show up to work, it's not like we show up. Not every. Some are like you or some are like me. Well, we're going to try to give our best,
mhm.
but everybody else is like, well, if I don't really have to, it could just wind up sliding. And they're not good or bad. It's just this is just the majority of how we tend to operate.
Yeah.
And when we don't recognize, oh, no, 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 good excellence is that way. Can we begin to work that way? It just begins to slide if there's nobody really putting forth expectations or rules or opportunities to excel.
Yes, you helped me, put in consequences. I didn't have any consequence. I could say, hey, y'all, we need you to do this, and it would seem like it's every single day the same thing. You were like, nope, no, 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 we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And yeah, we lost some people, but it was better. I was afraid that losing people would cause me to have be less efficient, but losing those less efficient people actually made us more efficient. And so, like
And
that.
it brought out something in the rest of the team because as people began to recognize, oh, Tina's serious. Oh, we actually have a real company. Maybe I need to do my job.
Mm,
You begin to see efficiencies automatically just happen without having to even ask for it because people recognize, wait a minute, if I'm not putting forth value, what is
uh,
my contribution and why am I here? I don't just have to have a paycheck. Like, can you have some value or are you willing to step back if you don't? That's what I believe.
and you just said it. Are they contributing and putting value, not just sitting there, just like, well, maybe am I going to get a paycheck today? And that was you. It was so funny because you came in as a coach. You came in as a client. You also end up still being the coach anyway.
Mhm.
And it was just a wonderful, wonderful time having you there, to grow the team.
And I want to say something too to the hurting Americans that have been, jobs just been cut left and right. I've heard, in fact, somebody came and talked to me the other day, and we talked for quite a while because we're looking at is she going to be coaching? But
Mm,
as she was talking about how one day she came to work on a Saturday and it asked, "What are the 5 things you did last week?" and they're having to justify their jobs. And just imagine, even though, again, whether you vote for this, you like it or don't like it,
Mhm.
there's some people don't even know what that really means. So just for people out there, whether you stay there or you're going to other places, one of the things when they send email like this, what they really mean is, what value do you bring if we keep you, or if you're going to another job, what's your value?
Mm.
So when I saw that, that's something I always believed in personally, not way before this happened here with the Americans. But I just want to just encourage people, whether
Yeah.
they stay with the job, the government, or they go to a different place, always ask yourself, what is the value that I bring
Mm.
when they get me? Am I able to meet the metrics? Do I have phenomenal teamwork? Do I have
Right.
leadership skills that actually begin to drive efficiencies? What is my value? And if you can
Mm.
speak in terms of what's the contribution that I get, or the company gets when they hire me,
Wow.
it will help people on their interviews when they go for new jobs, or if they're choosing to stay. Move past all the emotional, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Get a clear mind and say,
Mhm.
I've got to show up with the value. What is my value?
Oh,
Am I the one who can really get in here? Like you said, can you just give me something and I can do it without really having the rules, and I can find a way to still meet the challenge?
right.
How do you show up? What is it? And why do we need to hire you? And what will we get? That's how you want to think.
That, and you know what, people were so upset about getting that email. And I guess as a business owner, I get it. I get, like, why are you I what are you doing here to bring that value? And I can see, how it can be upsetting. But if I got that email, I would have answered the email, not said, oh, I don't want the email, because you got the email. You can't control whether or not you got the email or not. So now we got to now we got to just, like, okay, like you said, what is the value? What do I bring? And I guess that is my mindset. Even when I get a job, the first thing I need to know is, why am I here? How do I create revenue for you? Because I'm usually working for for-profit entities. So if I
Right.
work for a for-profit entity, they are for-profit, baby. So you need to know how you make them some money. Now, if you work at a nonprofit, it might be they might have a more mission-based, a goal. If you work for the government, you might have to have some efficiencies. Like, you have to make sure that it's the lowest cost to do something that is necessary. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So, like, you have to know what who your audience is, and
Exactly.
what do they want. And you just said, what contribution are you making?
And that right there, whether you are an entrepreneur or even an employee, we hate that this happened. Sorry that the government just sent this email out of the blue, because that is traumatic. And for
It
you,
is.
I encourage you, if you need coaching, I'm out here. Other people are there. If you need therapy, please go if you can afford it. But
Mhm.
first, cover the basis. But when you come back, no matter how you come, the only thing I think is a silver lining, which it may not feel like it today at all, but when you're ready to kind of get back out there in the game, keep this conversation in mind. What value do I bring? What
Mhm.
value do I bring? And
Mhm.
then as you begin to work that way, how do you show up that way? How do you lead that way with
Mhm.
the value? Start documenting, have an Excel spreadsheet of your contributions, challenge yourself with the
Mhm.
value that you bring, but don't say, I'm just going to be kept and get my check every 2 weeks. No, 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 no. Work as if it is a entrepreneur job, but still work as an that way, when others may be cut because you work with the mindset, oh, what value do I bring? You won't be. You'll
Mhm.
have your spreadsheet, you have your documentation, you have all your extra accomplishments, so many things. I mean, here's why I talk like this. So I still work part
Every
time.
time we talk, I
I
just get
know, right?
excited. I just get extra excited. Oh
They
Lord.
have to. I work part time as a pharmacist, and I never forget. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Getting fired was the best thing ever, because I was hiding and I did not want to speak. I was like, leave me alone. I really wanted to just progress up in the company and just be a VP and call it a quits. So I'm kind of glad I did get fired. I mean, it was a course correction in faith. And what I recognized was that I used to think, oh, if I'm a good person, nothing bad had happened.
Mm.
Just go outside and get rained on. The good people get rained on, the bad people, the ones indifferent. So yeah, I had to really recognize that for myself. But here's the most important part. When I took a part-time job and said, I'm gonna coach and speak sometime, but I'm gonna keep this part-time for some insurance. But on the weeks that I'm not there, I want to make sure I always do what I need to do, whether I'm on or off. So even
Mhm.
when I did a few things with the company, I positioned myself with Walmart. Say, hey, I am a speaker. I just happen to work here with you, and I'm going to do my best when I do it. So I always knock it out the park when I walk through that door on
Mm.
time. But then when I was not there, I'm doing other things with Lisa and the different clients, organizations, coaching. And so when the world shut down, I have this picture with Dr. Fauci. They said, "Hey, we need to."
Can you pull it up?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
you
gonna
can
get
put
it.
it up.
They
Go
said we
ahead.
need a pharmacist, and we need to know who can we get that will actually be able to actually do this thing because this pandemic is happening. The world is shut down. We need somebody ASAP. Who can we get? So they reached out to the different companies, the different pharmacists, different doctors. And when they got to Walmart, Walmart said, "Hey, we got this pharmacist. He's part-time, but he's a speaker. And he can actually do it." And we think. And so they sent down this recording equipment to me on day one. On day two, I was literally recording. And our job was to convince the doctors on how to actually get the not only just administer the vaccine, but believe in it so that we could begin to give it to the world. But we had to first convince the doctors and the
Mm.
nurses, and so my video was helping them.
Oh my gosh.
But
I
it's
would love
because
for you to
again,
pull
when you
it up
show up
so
with
you can show the people if you can. If
yeah,
you
I am. But I just want people to know when you show with what value do you bring, now you're working with a company, even if you work for the company. But in your mindset, no, 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 I work with you. And let me make sure whatever metrics you put out, let me not only hit your metrics,
Mm.
let me exceed your metrics, and let me come as my own individual giving value to you. So you earn that check every 2 weeks, not just get paid because you're an employee. That's the
Oh,
mindset.
I think it's over, it's over for that. This is after the pandemic, companies really started, and especially mine started, a lot of small companies, we started realizing that we need efficiency.
Right.
The pandemic really, kind of put that out there, and we need workers that are efficient.
Exactly.
So
And
it's
people have
okay that you work from home, but you still have to work. You don't like, for me, even though now they're saying, I was talking to someone today, and she said they either have to go back to the office, so they got to go to the office when they were working remotely, or they lose their job. And some people have moved to other states, they don't actually live in that organ, and then the places where they are right now don't have enough space for them to come to that office. So
mhm.
that's a problem. For me, I feel that, our small businesses can still be, I think we can still work remotely, but we have to be able to have those people that want to contribute. You got to want to contribute instead of going into the office. But anytime you want, you can pop that video up, and then
Yeah.
go ahead
Uh,
and pop it up.
Let me see. How do I share screen?
It should say present down at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Let me see. There's this little photo I want to. Let's see. Does it let you just pick the photo itself? Or does
uh
it have to be in a certain format?
I think it says you can pick a window or entire screen if you have your entire.
Oh, that's what I want. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there it is right there, the window photo. So yeah, there it is right there. Is it showing up?
Yep, there it
So
is. Right.
again, when the world was shutting down, because I brought so much value and I've done training at the company, I've done different things, but I did it with a mindset of I serve and here's the value, and let me make sure you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P. When they shut down, I had a reputation because I had done things for commercials. I had done things
Mhm.
with Patty LaBelle through commercials. So they're like, oh, yeah, we got this guy. He's like a pharmacist, but he's a media guy down in Texas. So when the world was shutting down, get him. We know he can get on camera like immediately. So I got the equipment sent on day one. And on day two, they shutting the world down. We're going live right here from this office. I have a different background with those mirrors and a different color behind me, but it's the exact same office, the exact
Wow.
same chair, and we're just doing this thing so we can get the doctors to begin to administer to the vaccine
Oh
to
wow.
other people. So it was at the very beginning stages, and it was really exciting.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
You just basically knew, they already knew. You positioned yourself.
right.
They already knew. They already
Because in
knew
the
you
book,
were
I talk about
valuable.
that. It's called personal branding. The question is, how do you want people to view you? not just social media, but even when you're out there working. How do you want people to view you on a job? How do you want them to view you as an entrepreneur? How do you want them to view you as an owner? So one of the things you want to do is work on your consistency. You want to work on your gravitas. When you show up, do you have a presence that when you open a room, you enter a room, there's something about you, like that charisma as well as your competence. What do
Yes.
you want them to say? And if you can keep that over and over again with humility, but excellence, still vulnerability, but transparency, willing to
Mhm.
help people, but still excellent, that right there begins to create what's really called a personal brand. Now, you
Mm.
can take that and put it on social media, but a personal brand in the workplace is when we say your name, what do we think when we say
Oh
your name?
gosh.
That's how you want to act. And if you
Yeah.
can create that, that's why the company called me from New somewhere up there. It was in New York, some kind of thing going on with the ad council. So how does a little country guy right here in Texas get a major Fortune 500 company to say, "Oh, we got one down there in Texas. Go get
And
him"?
knew you off
Because
the bat.
we had all those commercials where I would do a commercial and I said, I can do this with the script, without a script. How do you want this? I can show up with the jacket, without the jacket. I can say hello. Doesn't matter because I study my craft apart from this job. So when I come to this job, it's just one of the values that I bring. See how it
Oh,
never goes away from that? What's the value that you bring? What's the value that
oh,
you bring? What's the value that you bring?
you
That's
can
one of my values.
and then
One of
you
my values.
right off the bat, and like you said, you could be that person that is hiding in the cut. They don't know who you are. That's the easy one to cut. You know, if you had, you can cut. You know what I'm saying? Look, for real. And then if you not, they like, oh no, we got to keep this gentleman on no matter what. That is amazing. I mean, I love it. I love it. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And the same thing, hold on one second. I want to show you this one too. I I now I know how to do. You say it's a window. Okay, I can
yeah.
share my window. Let me find this one right here. Okay, so this can you guys see my Patty LaBelle one? Okay. So one of the values that I bring also is that I know how to tell stories. So
Mm.
what they did was say, we want to get all these pharmacists and get these people to compete, but we want to figure out who we can get to represent us. They had a diabetes center, they had a
Mm.
mental health center, but they also had a hypertension. Now we didn't know what they had. They just wanted us to show up. And
Okay.
because I had done some work before, they brought me in. And when they told me it was about, we wanted to see how are you working with diabetics when they come to your pharmacy.
Mm.
So here's one of the values that I bring. Because I'm a speaker, I know how to tell a story that hits the heart.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
told them, I'm gonna say, even though you see me now and I look like one person with one chin, just one's body, so to speak. There was a time I had two chins, God knows how many stomachs, my thighs, everything was just. I said I had a partridge in the pear tree. It was crazy. Now I kind of made a joke about how big I gained because I was a size of two, and I saw this lady. She was laughing. I think she was a Hollywood exec, and I was like, Shirley, what are you laughing at? Like, I mean, it was my body. And I said, and though I'm making fun of it, there was a time in my life where I was so depressed because when I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize that guy looking back at me.
Mm.
And I didn't have, right now they have all these weight loss drugs like the Ozempics and they got the Manjaros and people are injecting and losing weight. Like I didn't have that. And so I'll never forget. I looked in the mirror and that's what you call success. I put my head down, I worked for other people and I looked up and I didn't realize I ate myself into what we call success. Oh
Mm.
my God, I'd rather not be successful if I got to look like this. And not that something's bad being overweight. I just knew I didn't come to the planet that way. And I
Wow.
wanted to see the Kevin that I always saw.
Wow.
So I was on a journal and I started writing, and all I could hear was me and God, Kevin, what are you sad about? I was like, because I'm overweight, I'm fat, man. Look at me. What happened to me? And all I heard was, do you love me? Well,
Mm.
God, of course I love you. And I heard, no, you don't. Because if you really love me, you will not hate yourself when you're overweight and
Wow.
then love yourself when you're underweight. That means you're conditional and
Mm.
unconditional God. And I was like, so I said, then what is all that supposed to mean? He said, well, look at it. He said, look again. You're a creator. I said, what am I gonna do with that? Well, if you created your body into two, meaning you overate yourself into it, your body still works. Create again. I said,
Wow.
oh, okay. So that's when I
Wow.
started realizing, you mean I can make myself back to the regular. So I learned how to eat with Weight Watchers. I learned how to work out P90X, the gym, and all of a sudden the weight began to fall.
Oh, wow.
But I was telling the people, I get it. You guys are talking about mental health. You're talking about over diabetes. You're talking about hypertension. Hell, I had it all. I was on my way out and I didn't know what to do. I was so depressed and so upset. So whatever center you want, just, and as I was telling the story, they said, can we put him on all three? The company said, no, he can have two out of the three. It's not, we got to get somebody else in here. But that one story, the value that I bring on how I told the story with the humor, the sadness, the struggle, learning, the manifestation, the aha moment, and then learning how to get it off the old-fashioned way.
Oh, wow.
That's what they wanted to hear because
Wow.
this is how healthcare people are supposed to help folks. Show them where you are, encourage the medication if they have it, and then with the doctor, work to get it off the old-fashioned way, hitting the treadmill, maybe one plate, not two plates, even though you go to a restaurant, one serving really is two servings, but back in the day, it's usually a third of what they serve you. That's a
Right.
real serving, and learning it's it up. So yeah, again,
Oh,
coming from what is the value that you bring. So
this
when you go to a job, bring your whole self to the job, not just what they're asking for, but all of who you are, and then opportunities could show up, and you can abound in different ways you never know possible.
oh my goodness.
That-
This is like, some gold, some gold, just dropping all the nuggets. I'm just too totally enjoying this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna shift in. We're gonna go into how did you hear about your experience with QT Business Solutions?
Oh yeah, because I was working with you, and let me tell you, I saw Tina doing so much for so many people. I said, "Oh my God, I got to get in on some of this."
How
Man,
did
Tina
you
does
hear about
one,
us
Tina does
originally?
everything. I'm going, what? I've never seen somebody so knowledgeable and just seeing a team so nimble at helping people get loans and just showing up in different ways. It was stuff I yabba yabba yabba. I don't know nothing about that. Like I can run all my mouth about speaking, emotional intelligence, but over there I was like chopsticks. So I applied and I was a mess. I didn't get it initially because my stuff wasn't together. I didn't even know how to even put my finances together. So what I love what they do is making sure you get your numbers right, making sure things look good so that are you positioned to get a loan? If not, do you need to be put in the queue and get yourself together for the next couple of years so that you look like a viable business?
Mm,
How many of us are like me? We want to report all the money when we're getting it for ourselves and just, spend the money. But then when it's time to report it for the taxes, now you want to act like you didn't make any money because you spent up all the taxes and now you're going, that's too much.
that is
Right.
something that a lot of business are. It was so fun because I think you were referred to me by my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I actually got you as
That's
my coach.
right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
So I'm like, wait a minute, how did I meet Kevin? I met you. You were referred to me as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And as you were coaching me, you were like, hey, I think I need to get one of the business
I know,
plans.
right?
And people think that we just write a business plan, but I mean, we did a lot of things. Like I think we even got your SBA loan together. Like you
Yeah.
had some
I was in deferral, didn't even know it. And you found that because look, to apply, you got to make sure everything is lined up on the back end. And because banking is your experience from years, you were like, you're not even ready to apply. We got it. Where is this? Did I apply for that? I forgot all about that loan. That's what I love about QT. You guys are very, very deep to position people for success. And you have to be, as a customer, are you ready? Are you willing to be positioned? That's a whole different conversation, but that's what we need to do. So
and you're so far along on everything, but you still enjoy getting the numbers putting together, and
yeah,
you still enjoy those things. So I was just happy that you saw the value. You were my coach, saw the value, bought my service, and that's how we keep keep it in the family too. We
right,
always
right.
do business with each other.
And sent you some big ones too, because some people needed those $1 million loans, and I'm going, I don't know nobody else other than Katina who can do something like that. And how do you take a building and then make a nonprofit out of the part of it? Because part of this has a for-profit, some has nonprofit, and you just knew what to do. So I'm like, that's habla español, no, not that. Go to Tina. So that was amazing.
So tell me, what challenges were you facing before working with QT Business Solutions?
Just not really knowing how to report and knowing how to keep, like, what's that word that it's a dirty word in banking and in finance, commingling.
Yep.
That means don't take your personal and take your business, mix them together. Oops. Yeah. So that was a dirty word I did not know. But most people like me who are not really that, not that business savvy, but yeah, you could make $1 or two, but how do you do it on the back end? How do you keep it? That's the part I didn't know. So I think seeing that was very, very powerful. And then witnessing all the people that were like me coming in, having to get that stuff
Mhm.
together. I was like, oh shoot, I'm not alone out here.
You're not
But
alone.
also, seeing how you guys educate, bring people in, position them, maybe
Mhm.
put this one in the parking lot till they're ready, and then bring them right back out when they're ready to actually get it because everything is lined up. That
Right.
was very powerful.
Right, right. I remember with yours, we had a offer, but we you were advised. I advised you not to take it because you are very guys. He's well to do. Okay, so like, it wasn't necessary for you to even take it. Why take a loan when you're gonna pay interest and things back? But you have that business plan that's already ready. So in the future, if something happened, you can always go back and
Right.
reapply, get something else. So,
Oh, and the
um,
business credit card too. So that was nice to know.
say that again.
It was you guys set me up with the Comerica business credit card. So
Oh
Comerica,
yeah,
thank you, Comerica. Appreciate
about
you so
that.
much.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was talking about the Dunn's Bradstreet number. So just seeing, oh, their business actually has something to it, incorporation and all of that. Just getting everything together was a really nice touch. So yeah, that was. If you don't have that, I definitely say go to QT because QT can really set you up with that.
I'm gonna ask you one more thing. What was the most valuable part of working with QT Business Solutions?
How you educate the community because it was not just providing money or providing access, but also do you know what you're getting and why you're getting or why you're being held back because so it's not always about demand. Sometimes we're not equipped or have our stuff in a way that a bank may see you viably as an option because if everything has been done in a way where it's more just whatever, not even really professional, banks are not going to take a risk. So seeing how that conversation kept coming out different ways with different people, but it was always the same type of conversation. It just let me know in business doesn't play. You've got to get certain things together. You got to have all the ducks in a row. The only color that really matters is green. And are you in the black? Because if you're in the red and you have a stuff everywhere, I'm sorry. You have to wait. So that was I think it was probably the most impactful part, just seeing it over and over and over, whether it was the person who in sales bringing the person in, or the client success manager, or even the marketing people. Everybody was talking about the exact same thing, the education, lining things up, and then getting you access to it. And you still have to know what to do it when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least can we bring you and get you positioned? And that's what you guys do so well in so many different ways.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna ask you this. What's a fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Oh my God, is there fun? Let me see. Well, I will say this. I've never been a runner, but I learned to run a half marathon in a mile in 45 minutes. I was so proud of myself
Oh my
because
God.
I couldn't run to the mailbox for years. So we're talking, it was not till I was probably 40 years old before I even attempted that. And that was amazing because I never ran track. I couldn't run in school, couldn't run to the mailbox, couldn't run on a but I began to read a book and work with a team. And the whole book was talking about this is how you breathe
Mm.
when you go this fast. But if you go faster, shift your lungs and the breath cadence. And it's like being like a car. And if you can keep shifting with how fast you run or shift slower and then force yourself to keep the cadence of your feet and your breath,
Mm.
your lungs begin to act like an engine. And I was like, shut the front door. And it worked. I was like, oh my God. That's how I started
Oh,
running. Because I could never breathe when I ran. So I had to learn how to breathe at fast speeds. If you get the run part, just breathe. And I could
oh,
shift. That was really fun.
I need to get that book. Do you remember what it was?
I don't, but all I
Oh
remember was
no.
it was chapter 4 in some book.
Oh
Because all
my.
I was some book going, I can't run. Help me. I need to learn how to
Oh
run
my
and breathe. Something's
goodness.
wrong. So
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I need to learn that because I'm always out of breath.
yeah,
Uh, so
breathe.
tell me, if you weren't running this business, what would you be doing instead?
Looking at somebody who was,
Mm,
because again, I didn't come to this because I wanted to. I told you I was kicking, screaming, and running. But when I chose to do it as a calling, I said, I guess I got to do it. I have to do it. So I began to recognize I was not the only one sometimes hurting or emotionally unintelligent. And the biggest thing that gets in people's way is how do we process, how do we see, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's stress, what comes up inside, do we know how to self-regulate so we can have a clear mind and then make the best action? And not make our emotions wrong, but recognize they're just an indicator pointing so we can look and ask ourselves, do you like what you see? If
Mm,
yes, let it stay.
mm,
But if something can be tweaked, once it's tweaked, guess what? The emotion begins to go down and now you're clear again.
okay.
That's how life is supposed to be.
Amazing. I'm going to let people know this is your website, kevinlgoins.com. And I mean, you do speaking. You're a certified transformational coach. Can you tell them how to book you for an event and tell them how they can get your book?
Yeah, you can go to kevinlgoins.com. Kevinlgoins.com is my email. This book is out here, Emotional Intelligence. How to master your emotions, manage stress, enhance communication so you can finally be that leader that everybody respects. So yeah, just reach out to me. Even tell Tina, we'll find a way to make sure you get help. But the main thing is, can you get the help you need so you can think clearly and then act with the best decision? That's how we increase our efficiency, because now it's not a stress decision, it's a clear decision.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, this was a treat, treat, treat. I definitely love having them on. I'm trying to figure out how I can get them back on our team this year. You're gonna figure it out. As we keep growing and we doing, doing things, having emotional intelligence is important. Having leadership, training, having friends like Kevin is just imperative. So, guys, go ahead, go to kevinlgoins.com. Get the book, guys. It is amazing. And we will see you again. Thank you guys for joining us.
Bye. Thank you so